All right, so I'm sitting out here in the Granite Dells, and it is Wednesday. It's a gorgeous day. We've got not a cloud in the sky. Yesterday we had some pretty amazing clouds, so I'll include some of the images from yesterday just for you. Yesterday I went out to do a practice run for part of my work. So as I mentioned in the previous episode, part of my job is doing website design and maintenance for clients that we have throughout multiple states. One of the things that I've been adding into the business over the past 6 months, actually longer than the past 6 months, is drone work. So when people think of drone work, they think, oh, you know, doing real estate images and real estate video, but there's a whole heck of a lot more going on now. For drone work, you can do 3D modeling, you can do agricultural work, you can do construction progression, pipeline surveying, solar inspections, insurance inspections, and a whole heck of a lot more. And you're going to have to excuse me, I'm looking around, we've got the warmer weather, so there's a couple of bees flying around, so I'm paying attention to them because I'm slightly allergic to them, slightly being an understatement. So anyways, yesterday I went out and flew a mission for one of my favorite campgrounds that I'm staying at right now, Pointer Rocks RV Campground. We're doing a new 3D model of the entire park, so from Route 89 all the way up to the upper loop, and then the rock formations that go out from the park all the way out to Watson Lake. So I had a little fun, did some flying, and I actually messed up on part of my flight. I didn't get to complete the entire flight because I didn't anticipate yesterday's winds. It wasn't supposed to be as windy as it was. So we had a fair amount of wind, and it changed the amount of time that my flight was going to have to go. So what does that mean? It means I didn't have enough batteries to complete the entire flight. Fortunately, I was using a tool called Map Pilot from a company called Maps Made Easy, and Map Pilot actually calculates battery life and when the drone should return. So I got a warning message when I first started flying yesterday, and the speed of my flight was reduced to only 6 miles an hour, so I couldn't cover all of the acreage that I wanted to. So that was my mistake. And why am I telling you about this? Because I want you to understand, drone work isn't just unboxing a drone, popping it up in the sky, and starting to sell images to realtors for selling their homes. There's a lot more to it now. There's a lot of planning that goes on. And if you're doing things like 3D modeling, if you're doing things like vegetation indexing, or if you're doing things like construction progression, normally you're going to need to go out in advance of the actual job and go to the location that you're working to make sure that you can work in it, and also to plot out what you're going to do. So over the past few weeks, during the evenings, I actually sit around on my iPad or my iPhone plotting out maps for different jobs that I'm doing. So a lot more goes into it. And is this a potential RVer's business? Yes, it is, and no, it isn't. It's both. A lot of what you're going to need to do for a drone operation, you'll probably end up being region specific or maybe even town specific. So often when people are going to need you to fly for them, you're going to have to fly multiple times in the same location for progression reports, or in the same location for different seasons to show off this park during the winter, during the summer, you know, when foliage drops, when foliage comes back. So there's a lot more going on behind it. So when you see a drone pilot out who's, let's say they spent an hour flying something for their job, in my case, yesterday's flight, I was out for a little over an hour. I did not get to survey everything I wanted to, so that was unfortunate. And then when I came back to run the model, I literally popped my my memory card in from the drone probably about 2 o'clock yesterday. And that 3D model did not finish processing till this morning. So when I got up this morning, it was sitting and waiting for me. So if you see a drone pilot out and you see him spending 1 hour, say to yourself, they probably were pre-planning this particular flight for several hours, or they might have been pre-planning it over the course of a couple of days. And after they finish, they've got to come back and process the data, which could take a couple of hours to, my longest one so far has been 16 hours. So you could do this with your RV. You could go to different locations and work for different clients. You would have to line them up in advance, of course. So it's possible, but let's say you had a construction company that wanted a progression report on the construction of, let's say, a big sports complex over the period of months. You might have to come back to that location several times again. So if you're enjoying the area, that's great, so you can get paid and visit that area till your modeling is completed. All right, so what's coming up next in this video, I'm actually going to show you through the planned flight from yesterday. So you're going to get to take a quick little look at Map Pilot. And after that, I'm going to show you the results that I did get and some of the awesome clouds and beauty here in Prescott today. Or today and yesterday. All right, so very quickly, we're going to go take a look at Map Pilot to see what I was trying to make yesterday and didn't fully make. My apologies if the audio sounds weird on this. I'm trying the lav mic with the iPad and screen recording. I'm not sure if this is going to come through well or not. So the actual model that I was trying to do was the Dell's Mega model, I named it. And let's just take a quick look. So this is actually a lot of acreage. If I pop on the information about this mission that I was doing, it was 74.75 acres. It would have been 10 miles of flying, and the duration was supposed to be 37 minutes and 25 seconds using 3 batteries. So I did a lot of planning beforehand, and even with the planning that I did, when I got out yesterday, the software gave me a warning that it would have to slow the speed of the flight down to 6 miles per hour, making the flight much longer and making it take a much longer time to lay out, or to capture all the images. So when you're thinking about RV, working full-time from RVs, one of the things that's really pronounced itself to me is having multiple revenue streams. So not just the web work, but maybe the drone work. Not just the drone work, but maybe some work camping. Maybe outsourced contracting for companies. Basically, you might be doing more than one thing while you're a full-time RVer, if that's your interest. So if you want to work from the road and make a good living, you might have a couple of specialties, as I've noted before, but the other possibility is that you're looking at several revenue streams at the same time. So in my case, the web work, the online instruction on udemy.com, doing the drone work, and yeah, so there's 3 different revenue streams for me. And maybe someday, if I'm a famous YouTuber, there'll be another revenue stream. Right now, I'm not a very well-known YouTuber, so there's no real income stream dependency there.